I'm Molly Quinlan-Hayes with the National Coalition for Arts Preparedness and Emergency Response and the Performing Arts Readiness Project, and happy to continue this series of interviews with leaders in the field about arts organizations at a crossroads. And this morning, I'm very happy to be speaking with Deborah Gilpin of the Madison Children's Museum. I know that it had to be just one of the worst jobs in the world to be a CEO during the last year. So can you talk a little bit about how you managed
leadership as we went through pandemic and had our senior team conversations? Had identified, we'd already identified that we were a little bit siloed, and we were not just top heavy but overstaffed. We were producing 1,200 programs a year, and we didn't have good accountability and good metrics for how we make decisions about our activities. We love our community, we saw great things we could do, and we kept trying to do everything. And it was a little bit of a function. We had moved into a bigger museum 10 years prior, and you say yes to everything. But it was time to start saying no more. And so we'd already recognized this. So the pandemic really brought this amazing opportunity to reset all that. So as we began to do our strategy, which was really, I'll call it January, when it got a little more solidified, when we could see that there was going to be a reopening in sight, we did strategic work with the board and identified that using a measure what matters model, a much more data-driven, evidence-based decision-making for what we would and wouldn't do and how we would respond to what we learn as the changing scenario happened as we reopened, was the way to go. And so we identified very crisp objectives and key results that board and staff agreed on. And some are higher level, like having how many months of operating cash in the bank that we won't know until a rolling number of months. And others are, we want a net promoter score of 75%. Or once we start opening the doors again, or we want to collect surveys from at least 50% of the visitors to find out. So we initiated all these things as we reopened, and we trained staff, and they really have had to learn to flex their different muscles about how to get to these outcomes. But what it's done is given them a sense of control and knowledge, transparency about the outcomes and how it might shape their job later, because we can identify merit raises with this. Because of this accountability, we can do that better. They're watching as the surge may come now and looking at, well, what they already know about our condition, and they don't feel as stressed as I think I'm hearing from other organizations, because they know the dollars involved. They know that we're making our number on the revenue per person through the front door, because they're tracking it themselves every week and meeting about it and changing their behavior to change those outcomes.
That's true. It really gives them a sense of power. And you've said that it also is freeing you up to do other things. And it's striking to me. It seems that with a smaller staff, you actually are building more capacity. Is that, do you think that's an accurate?
Yes, and it's very intentional. It really was about empowering more people to make decisions. I think over time it had gotten where decisions get pushed up to the leadership more frequently, and that's just, we recognized we had great people. We didn't need to, we needed to shift that, and